Nick, I'm really excited to have you on the podcast here today. And for the people who don't know you very well, let's get into a little bit of your background. So let's start with, where were you born? What was your upbringing like?
Yeah, first off, thanks for having me.
Of course.
Happy to be here. Born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio. I had an unbelievable upbringing. Didn't come from privilege, but my parents loved us. They've been married for over 40 years. 1975. How long ago was that? It's a long time.
That was a good,
40, I think 47.
25 plus 23, so 48, 47, 48 years.
So parents were married since 75. I've got 3 siblings. I'm one of 4. It was awesome because we just grew up with a lot of love, a lot of discipline. My dad was more of a disciplinarian. My mom was, more lenient.
Yeah.
So they had like that good
cop, bad cop
role.
Yeah.
But we had a really busy family. My dad worked all the time. He's a retired nurse. My mom was a full-time. She always worked as well. So I had 2 parents that were married and both worked full-time. And then it goes my older sister, my older brother, me, and then my youngest sister. So we always play a sport every season.
Yep.
So between 2 working full-time parents plus 4 kids, always doing a sport, it was just busy. Didn't have a big house. Rarely. I could count on one hand how many vacations we went on.
Yeah.
But we didn't. I mean, I think we had our house was like 1,200 square feet.
Yeah.
Growing up, which is pretty fucking small if you got 4 kids and 2 parents.
For sure.
But it was awesome though because we just grew up with a lot of like love, and we were taught put family first, respect each other, love each other, work.
Yeah.
Like no excuses.
Yeah.
And I think the roles that my parents played contributed to us like being like good producing members of society. I'm not here to say my siblings and I are better or worse than anyone, but I feel like we contribute to society.
Yeah.
My sister is a CRNA.
Yeah.
She's pursuing getting her doctorate, I think, soon. My brother is a retired Marine Corps pilot. He works for the government right now. I can't disclose what he does.
Yeah.
And my younger sister manages a 5-star salon in Cleveland, Ohio. And they all are married, beautiful families, beautiful kids. So, I feel like we contribute to society.
For sure.
And it's definitely contributed to our parents and the way that we were raised, for sure. So, it's extremely lucky.
That's awesome.
On all ends.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so once you started working, what are like some of the first work experiences that you had growing up working?
I had so many jobs, but when you say that, the things that first stick in mind are caddying was my first job. I was 12 or 13 years old. That was like my first job. After caddying, it unleashed the floodgates. I did a ton of things. My best friend's mom at the time owned a beauty supply store. I worked at a beauty supply store.
Yeah. I
worked at Abercrombie & Fitch. I was a personal trainer. I worked construction in the union in Cleveland as a carpenter. I was the worst carpenter ever. I was so bad.
Yeah.
What else did I do? Camp counselor. That was a fun job.
Yeah.
Made pizzas at a Italian restaurant, one of my favorites in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Did the dishes at that same restaurant. I did the dishes first, and I got promoted to making the pizza. So those are like 6 jobs I think I just rambled off that stick out. But I remember caddying was the first job, and that was a really good. I think that was a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
Out of the gates as a young kid because of what it teaches. I mean, you're pretty much you're like someone's bitch for like 5 hours.
I was going to say you can say bitch. It's okay.
Yeah, you're like someone's bitch for like 5 hours. And, I'm young, and it's not like happy, fun job. I mean, Cleveland summers are pretty hot.
Yeah.
I'm carrying 2 bags.
Yeah.
And if someone's like not like overly like nice that you're caddying for, like it's not like a fun job. The country club I first caddied at, everyone was cheap, so like it wasn't great money, but it was better than what the alternative was.
Yeah.
But again, it's like you have to pay attention to detail, right? And so little things on the golf course. And I just started golfing pretty active in the last 2 years, and you got to pay attention to details. So like as a caddy, like just little like etiquette goes a long way. And then looking at someone when you're talking to them, getting constructive criticism, listening, like I thought it was really good. Focus you to be disciplined, but I keep saying this, you got to pay attention to detail a lot. Don't step in the line. Always make sure you ask certain questions every single time they show. Just little stuff like that. Yeah. So that was cool.
Well, I mean, working like service industry and service-based jobs like that, I think that definitely sets you up to be ready to work in sales and be ready to run a company someday. Because if you don't learn those foundational skills, you're not going to be good at that shit. So
yeah, I totally agree. And
Yeah.
it's I'm not here to say it's tough, but the narrative is always changing.
yeah,
We live, in my opinion, it's a very like confused society from the perspective of like we're constantly being taught completely opposite like spectrums.
yeah,
Right? So like we're taught as kids like don't talk to strangers.
yeah,
I'm not saying that that's right or wrong. I'm saying don't talk to strangers is one of like the key components is that parents teach on the kids.
yeah,
But then when you go into sales, all you fucking do is talk to strangers.
yeah,
That's all you do.
yeah,
You make a living by cold calling people that you don't know,
yeah,
you've never seen before, you never met before, and that's your livelihood.
yeah,
So it's like, well, now what?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, look at the food pyramid. Like when I was a young kid, I mean, I turned 37 a couple days ago. When I was a young kid, the food pyramid is like practically opposite of what it is right now.
Yeah.
So like science is always evolving and stuff like that, but it's like the narrative is like always just so different.
Yeah.
And just, I don't know where I'm going with that, but
I hear you, man.
Yeah.
I hear you.
so
Well, I mean, for you, you started working, you learned quite a bit of experience working those,
Yeah.
those high school type of positions.
Yeah.
What was the first one that kind of led you in the direction that you're going in now?
fitness.
Fitness.
I started working out summer going into freshman year of high school to be on the football team. I found out in like 10 seconds I wasn't going to be good at football because the high school I went to, we were really good.
Yeah.
But it was a requirement. It was non-negotiable that you worked out. So at least that sparked my interest towards lifting weights. And then that started my confidence. And then I started getting stronger. And then I started working harder. And then I started getting fulfillment out of going to the gym, consistently working out, consistently getting stronger, consistently getting results.
Yeah.
So then after high school, because I didn't get into college, I started working all those like crazy jobs that I just mentioned. All those jobs I mentioned were all within like a two-year span.
And that's after high school?
Yeah, between like junior high school and like between the age of like 16 and 19.
Gotcha.
That sparked my interest and passion towards fitness. And then after high school, I just went to be during high school, I started competing in powerlifting. So freshman year of high school, I bench pressed 135 pounds one time. Sophomore year of high school, I bench pressed 265 pounds one time. Junior year, I bench pressed 315 one time. And then I started competing. So when I started competing, I was approached from a close buddy of mine, and he owned a private gym that was relatively close to my house, and he offered to train me for free. So the first competition I did, I got disqualified on rule technicalities because I had never done a competition before.
Yeah.
I didn't understand how it worked. And then after that first meet, I got disqualified. I started at my buddy's gym. He started training me. Then I just started absolutely taking this passion towards powerlifting. I started getting massive results because I was training with the best coaching, the best training, the best counsel. And this is when things started to like really take a turn for my life in a positive direction. I started breaking state records. I started breaking national records, and I broke a world bench press record when I was 18 years old.
Damn.
Drug-free powerlifting, I bench pressed 401 pounds, and I weighed 162 pounds.
Damn.
So I'm 18 years old, and I have this complete defining moment in my life. I was training so hard. I cared about it so hard. I was never doing anything to jeopardize my results I was getting in the gym. And that's what started my fitness journey.
Yeah.
So I started the fitness journey as a personal trainer. And then I started getting so much fulfillment out of helping people. And then I started selling personal training. Then I started selling memberships. Then I was selling memberships and personal training. Then I started working at a big gym in Louisville, Kentucky. Then I started consulting. So that's when it really I just kept working up the ladder of like just selling on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
Right. Selling memberships, my average commission was $20. Selling personal training, my average commission was $200.
Yeah.
Right. So I started working up the ladder, and then I was consulting gyms. I lived in 4 states in 4 years. And that's when I was able to like really like not perfect, but get better at like time management.
Yeah.
Training people, developing people while still selling.
Yeah.
While still like training a team of people working with you or amongst you while still being the top producer.
Gotcha.
And making an impact, like truly making impact. I would go into these privately owned gyms that were financially in the whole tens of thousands of dollars a month, and they'd be profiting tens of thousands of dollars within months that I was there because I would restructure the entire gym.
Yeah.
And that's when I was just like, I'm on to something. I don't know what I'm on to, but I'm on to something.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, I think I want to open up my own gym.
Yeah.
And then I started talking to some people about getting funding. I mean, I'm like 24 at the time.
Yeah.
I've got 4 years of experience, 5 years of experience working in the fitness industry. I'm confident enough, no college degree, but what I had accomplished to own my own gym. And then the investments didn't work out, but it was all a blessing. And then I moved to Dallas, Texas for an opportunity to work for a roofing company.
Yeah.
And we get into that, but the rest is history. So.
Well, we will.
Yeah.
Well, somewhere in there, even though you're not, doing anything with fitness anymore, aside from what you do personally, that sounds like fitness is really where you learned, that growth mindset of, if you can bench press this much and you keep working at it, you can grow. And then if you can start selling memberships, then you can start doing that on a much bigger scale. So it sounds like that's where you really got addicted to the growing and making more money and getting bigger results, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I got addicted to that whole process that you just said. Yeah. And there's one more thing, reading mannerisms, body language, eye-to-eye contact, squaring your shoulders, how to ask the right questions, try to extract the information that you need. Yeah. Right. So when I was selling personal training is first off, it's in person. Yeah. Right? I'm not selling personal training through a Zoom call or over the phone. Yeah. Or through text messaging or emailing. I'm sitting down like this. Yeah. And I'm asking you a series of questions to extract the information that I need. Yeah. One thing about personal training and fitness in general, it's a very emotional decision. Yeah. So, for example, when I'm talking to Mr. or Mrs. Jones and I'm doing a personal training consultation, I'm asking questions like, what are your goals? Yeah. I want to lose 20 pounds. That's awesome. Why? Because I want to. Why? Because I really want to. Okay. How long have you wanted to lose 20 pounds? Probably 5 years now. All right. So if you look at what you're doing right now, and if you continue what you're doing for the next year, are you going to be more likely to lose 20 pounds, maintain your weight, or gain more weight? Probably gain more weight. Okay. So how long ago was it that you were 20 pounds lighter? 5 years ago. Okay. What were you doing different? Oh, that was BC, before
before children.
Before children. Okay. So are you looking to make it a priority? Yes. So if you're looking to make a priority, it's like a regular conversation, but I'm still asking questions while getting to know you. And then you ask like closing questions like, what do you need? What can I help you with to get you from A to B? Yeah. To get you from here to losing 20 pounds, what do you need? I really need accountability. Okay, great. You just told me how to sell you. Yeah. What could I do to help you get A to B? I mean, I'm self-motivated. I'll hold myself accountable. I really need direction and nutrition. Got it. You just told me how to sell you. So when it's my turn to talk, all I'm going to talk about is nutrition. Yeah. If you need accountability, all I'm going to talk about is, what's great about personal trainers is that they'll hold you accountable. And accountability can come in a lot of different aspects. It's confirming your session the night before. It's asking you how you're feeling the night before a workout and making sure that you eat oatmeal in the morning before, an hour and a half before your workout session. Like, accountability is whatever you tell us we could help you. But the great thing, a benefit a personal trainer has is we will give you the accountability that you need to get you to 20 pounds lighter. Well, that's great because that's really what I need. I know it's what you need. You just told me that's what you need. Exactly.
Well, like you learned right there, somewhere in there, you learned exactly what so many people struggle with in sales is that you got to understand what that person needs before you can actually provide the solution. So how did you learn that? Were you figured that out on your own? Did you have somebody teaching you how to get good at sales there?
My superior, always in the fitness industry, they were always good at sales. Yeah. And so they would teach me their process. And just like anything else, I would just listen and listen and listen and listen and then tweak it to my own way. Gotcha. And then you fail, and then you fail, and then you fail, and then you try and you try and you fail. So whoever was my manager at whatever gym I was, they were always pretty good at sales. So I would just duplicate what they were doing. But you got to have the right attitude because it is so humbling just not being good at something. I mean, like my golf game. Like I'm telling you right now, at one point, I'll have a handicap of I'll be shooting in the low 80s. Yeah. But I'm probably 10 years from that. Yeah. I mean, it's no exaggeration. So I'll be 47 years old and be like, no, I used to be 20 strokes worse. Yeah. It's a process. But if I stop playing golf, I'm not going to get better. Yeah.
So, and you've already experienced that in sales and in building your company, so you just know how that goes. Yeah. If you stay getting better, you're gonna get to that certain point.
Yeah, you just got to stay committed to the end result and just know that it's just part of the process. Yeah. Right. I had a bad day. Well, first off, that's all perspective, but like, it's just part of the process.
Yeah.
Like, no one that ever has the great motivating story talks to a crowd of 5,000 people saying, everything was super easy to me.
Yeah.
Everything got handed down to me. I never had to overcome any adversity.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was just always good at it. It's
Yeah.
like, your fucking story is boring, bro.
Yeah.
I was really bad. I tried a lot, had a lot of, curveballs thrown my way, went through a lot of shit, was in really dark times, but I got myself out of it because I never stopped believing in myself. And here I am, and I'm a multimillionaire. Oh, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, what's your story? And that's it. So yeah, in sales, just like anything else, you just have to be so committed to the end result to know that like you just have to continue to fail your way to success. I say that all the time.
That's really all it is.
Yeah.
Well, for you, after fitness, you were making pretty good money with that, but what was it that got you transitioned into roofing and construction?
I got burnt out of the fitness industry. Some things didn't go my way with the gym that I was working at. So I called up a kid that I grew up with in Cleveland, asked him what he was doing, and he was part owner of a roofing company in Dallas, Texas. Mm-hmm. So he told me to come and shadow the position, and I flew into Dallas, never been there before, and just learn under like a top producing roofer. So I did that for about a week, and then we got hit with this catastrophic hailstorm. So I'm in a city I've never been to before, shadowing a position that I know nothing about, and then we get hit with a hailstorm, which I've never seen hail.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of things going on at a time where I was engaged at the time, and my daughter was less than a year old.
Wow.
So I got a whole lot going on in a short amount of time. And then I just decided to jump on the opportunity, work for that roofing company. I had surpassed all the sales guys in the company, which there was around 30 reps. Like there was between 26 and maybe 32 reps at the company at the time, which is fairly good size.
Yeah.
I was the number one salesman in less than a year. And as a token of gratitude, the guy, a former friend of mine, gifted me this Rolex. And I was just 10 times more invested in that company because I was finally going in the right direction of my life. I was doing pretty well. Like I was doing better financially. And I found out the next day that the Rolex was fake.
What?
And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I thought everything was going in the right direction. Everything was going fine. And like,
Jeez.
This is what I get?
That's crazy.
And that was one of the defining moments where it inspired me to call my best friend and say, like, you're never going to believe what happened. Yep. So, like, what do we do now? Like, what should I do? Like, should I call him out on, like, how do I handle this situation? And he was just like, let's just start a roofing company. And I was like, you're out of your fucking mind, dude. I'm not going to start a roofing company. Like, I know how to sell roofs, but I don't know how to start a company. He's like, nah, you're starting to overthink the process.
Yeah.
Like a lot of sales guys do.
Sure.
Right? So you just do what you're good at, which is sales. I'll do what I'm good at, which is the operations side. And we're just going to go one day at a time, and we'll just figure it out. Yeah. That's what started Navy Roofing. My business partner isn't the sales guy. He is very intelligent. Yeah. Thinks with a completely different part of the brain that I do. We're wired different, but we are such a good team because we're so different. Because we both have an incredibly hard work ethic and such a respect and love for one another, and we're so different. Yeah. So we make a great team.
You're yin and yang.
We are the epitome of yin and yang.
Nice.
But he's like a brother to me. He is a brother to me. Wow. And that's the biggest thing is trust. You know, they did a study like with Navy SEALs, what they look for is not necessarily like the strongest, fastest guy or the most, intellectual guy. Yeah. It really comes down to trust. And one of the Navy SEALs that I love listening to talks about when you could trust a guy with your woman and with your money, that's the epitome of having the utmost trust with someone.
I completely
agree. My
agree.
best friend, my business partner, I would trust them if I had a wife, and I trust them with I could give him my password to my online banking right now and say, hey, can you go and wire some money to this account, for this investment? I can't do it for the next couple of days. My Wi-Fi's bad.
And that goes to show, I mean, you in the other situation, you were making great money. You were climbing the top of the sales charts and all that. But the moment that guy violated your trust, it was like, what are we even doing here? Right. Right. So, yeah. What was that like? That moment where you were climbing the sales charts, you were making great money. Everything was golden and you were on top of the world. What did that feel like to have somebody like violate your trust like that.
It felt shitty because like it's like that feeling of betrayal is just such a shitty feeling. It's like you get in the pit of your stomach, like you want to throw up.
Yeah.
It's like finding out like your girl cheated on you. It's just such a disgusting feeling knowing that like you felt like betrayed.
Yeah.
But then I realized real quick, no one feels sorry for you.
Yeah.
Like I could sit around and mope around, but like bills got to be paid. My daughter needs to get fed.
Yeah.
My fiance at the time needs to get taken care of. So I could do one of two things. I could sit around and complain, which isn't going to benefit at all, or I could just get after it. So what am I going to get after it with? I don't know. Let me call Mike. Mike,
that's
this
your
is what
partner.
happened. Yeah, my business partner. Mike, here's what happened. All right, we'll start a company. All right, let's do it. I mean, it wasn't just like that, but it was pretty much how it ended. So it's just like a disgusting feeling of betrayal. But like, if that wouldn't have happened, we wouldn't have started New View. If we didn't start New View Roofing, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Yeah.
And it's all part of the process. So I look back at it, and I mean, how could you not be grateful that shitty things had to happen to you for you to become the best version of yourself?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's
a nugget right there.
If that guy, for sure, if that guy didn't show you his true colors, then who knows? You could still be working with him years and years and years later.
Yep.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
Gladly he went out of business less than 2 years after I quit. So.
Yeah, not surprising. Not surprising. I'm sure he's still watching your success.
I hope he
wishing
is.
I wish I just sprung for. That's actually a good statistic to know. How much money could he be making today if he would have just sprung for the extra? What are these, 25 grand or so now?
Yeah.
If he just got you the real
literally.
Man.
Yeah, I was making him. I did the numbers because when you look at the numbers when you own a company, like what really is the overhead, because you don't know as an employee. I would have made him profit anywhere between, like, on the low end, 400,000, on the high end, like 800,000 to $1 million. On average I would make him 750 to $1 million in profit a year if he would have just been loyal to me.
If he would have just
paid $25,000,
either paid that or just not fucking got you a fake one.
Yeah,
he could have just been like, I appreciate everything you're doing.
Yeah.
All I can afford to give you is $1,000 bonus, and you would have been like, okay, I can still trust you.
That's it. So we structure the company around. We have it's commission only for the roofing company, but we keep all the money in our sales guys. My business partner and I, we take such a minuscule cut of our overhead for the jobs because we leave all the money, all the profit in the sales guys' hands. And if you look at our company track record, I mean, our guys are really good at what they do, but they're super loyal.
Yeah.
I mean, once they come on board with us, they don't leave.
Yeah.
Like we've had like maybe 3 guys leave the company since we started over 9 years ago.
Wow. Well, that's the way
they
to
ain't
do
gonna
it.
get paid anywhere else.
That's the way to
and
do
we take
it,
care
man.
of them. So yeah.
And I mean, you learned that from coming up in sales.
Yes.
You learned, like, here's how I'd want to be treated as one of the sales reps, as a top performing sales rep. So.
Yeah, and that's why you got to start at the bottom. You want to own a restaurant, you got to start mopping the floors, and doing the dishes, and then learning the kitchen and the flow of everything. You don't just you got to be well-rounded owning a business. You got to, like in roofing, like you got to appreciate the guys that throw shingles on their back and humping up the ladder just as much as you appreciate, the other aspects of the business. So
I think so many people look at, like, they want to own something and they want to own a company, but they don't understand the value of that, starting at the bottom anywhere and understanding the whole structure of the organization.
Yeah.
So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, my daughter, she's 12. She just turned 12 a couple weeks ago. I mean, she just did a lemonade stand. She did a lemonade stand with her best friend at the house last weekend, and they did custom bracelets too. They made $200 in like 3 hours.
Yeah.
And so she sees the process, right? And there's I just had this conversation with a friend, with my friends yesterday in Scottsdale, we're talking about the process. Like, if you grow up underprivileged, you get the benefit of learning you have to grind and you have to work hard. Yeah. Nothing's going to be given to you. You're not raised with a silver spoon. You got to go out and get it. And that is that is worth its weight in gold to learn that process. Yeah. Now let's go to the opposite end of the spectrum. Let's look at my child. She's not going to have to worry about getting a meal skip. She'll always have a roof over her head. Yep. She's more than taken care of. If I told you her fucking Christmas, it would be ridiculous. She got puppy, you got Aviator Nation now, this clothing brand just found out about that probably marks their stuff up 3,000%. Drop like $200 on like a sweatshirt.
Yeah.
It's just okay, but back to it. Yes, she is growing up with privilege. However, she gets exposed to the process.
Yeah.
She sees me work out twice a day, 5 days a week. She sees me on the phone talking to people, listening to me talk to customers.
Yeah.
She sees how I conduct myself, how I'm disciplined, I'm regimented, I'm goal oriented. She goes in my office and sees my goals that I write down, my monthly calendar on a big dry erase board, and how I'm structured.
Yeah.
Well, that's something that's worth its weight in gold too. So you've got two different spectrums, and there's a benefit to both of them.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part as a parent. The hardest part as a parent is, how do you not have your kids struggle, but they gotta skin their knees a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's the hard part.
Well, I mean, I get it. You didn't get to where you're at by having everything handed to you.
Right.
So you're trying to think, all right, well, how can I'm not going to make my daughter be broke to teach her a lesson,
right.
But how do I still instill these same values in her?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's $1 million question. You don't got the answer to, but that's the thing about parenting.
Yeah.
Is that you always do the most. You never think you're doing enough.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, what are some things that you do personally? I mean, you're running a over $100 million company as a single father of your daughter's 12, you said? So what are some things that you do to balance being a single parent with running a company?
Well, I mean, her mom's amazing. Her mom and I were married, for a quick minute, and we've been divorced for over 9 years now. So her mom is awesome, and she is with her mom like primarily. So I get Ariana, my daughter, every other weekend, and then one night in the week. Summers we do week on, week off. So really, I don't have her like a whole lot, but we FaceTime multiple times a day, talk all the time. She lives 40 minutes away from me, so it's we're very, very like close knit.
Yeah.
So a lot of contribution has to go to her mom, because she's an awesome mom, and her and I are in alignment with how we raise her.
Yeah.
So I think that says a lot. And then other than that, when I'm not with her, I have nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Right. Like I have nowhere else to be other than focus on my work.
Yeah.
So that way, when I am with her, I can not afford, but I could justify taking a day or two off when I'm with my daughter.
Yeah.
Because when I'm not with her, I am going at it. I'm talking like super regimented, right?
Yeah.
Like there's no, customers call me, well, how late can you take an appointment? As late as you want.
As you need. Yeah.
Well, are you sure? How early can you be here? As early as you want.
Yeah.
It's like, if I'm not with her, I have nothing else to do other than work.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, for you running a company, I mean, what are some of those daily habits that you do that really help you perform at a high level? I mean, as between being a father, running your company, I see you in the gym all the time. I see you doing so many different things. So people are probably thinking, how the fuck does this guy do all of it? So what are some daily habits that help keep you balanced and energized and performing at a high level like that?
Yeah. I live off of my calendar, my iPhone.
Yeah.
So it's to the point now where, let's say, for example, tomorrow morning, I don't have not one appointment. Yeah. It's a rare day where I just don't have one appointment. I will literally go in my calendar and I will just start booking stuff every hour on the hour. So I wake up with that sense of purpose. Yeah. Right. So let's say for example purposes, real quick, if I have nothing tomorrow, I'm going to set my alarm for between 7 and 7:30. I pick a random time. I'm weird like that. So I'm going to set my alarm for 7:12 a.m. And then I'll put in there 7:12, wake up. I'll be like, okay, if I want to be knocking doors by 11 a.m., by 10:30, I count down from when I need to start knocking doors. So if I start knocking doors at 10:30, I'll put in the calendar at 10:30, knock doors. And I'll put an address of where I'm going to knock. 10 a.m., if I need to be there, by 10:30, I need to leave the gym by 10. So So I need to get to the gym by 8. So I need to wake up and be out of the house by 7:30, 7:45. Yeah. So just there. Oh, and then I'll knock from 10:30 a.m. until noon. I'll stop and grab a coffee, and then I'll go lift at 1:30 with my buddies.
So you basically
and then I'll knock
Go ahead.
No, and I will literally do that for the whole day. So that's one thing to answer your question.
Yeah.
How I stay on it. My morning, it sets the tone for the day.
Yeah.
If I sleep in till 8:39, my day is all out of whack. I feel like I've lost half the day if I sleep until 9 a.m. So I have to stay so structured to a point where I have to go in my iPhone and put all this in place. So now when I put it on place and then look at my calendar for tomorrow, I'm like, oh shit, I got
some shit to do.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that just happened like that.
Yeah.
In 20 seconds of me having, and that's if I have nothing.
Yeah.
If I have no appointments, which never happens.
Yeah.
So I pretty much just plug and chug, and I just look at my calendar the night before.
So you basically pick, all right, here's what time I have to start being productive.
Yeah.
Here's the first sales call or the first meeting.
Yeah.
And then you make sure that your morning routine fits in before that.
It has to. My morning routine sets the tone for the day. Mind, body, soul. I do my affirmations, meditate, sit in the sauna, do cardio, do some core work in the morning. I just get my day. It catapults me to having a super productive day. So I look at it like that's like my warm up.
Yeah.
Right. So like if you are the starting quarterback for an NFL football team and kickoff is Sunday at 1 p.m.
Yeah.
They don't get to the stadium at 12:45, put their pads on.
No.
Like I would love to see the morning routine of an NFL player the morning of a game.
Yeah.
But I would imagine they're up by 7 or 8, and between 7 a.m. to kickoff, oh my God, they're doing something every second. You're not just lounging around.
For sure.
They're warming up. They're doing a series of things. That's the approach that I take towards my day.
Yeah.
In sales, if I have a meeting or if I start knocking doors at 10:30, I don't want to be starting my warm-up process by when I knock doors in the morning.
No.
I'm calling family, friends, listening to podcasts, listening to, the money market, like the stock market in the morning on satellite radio. Like I'm just stimulating my mind going into my first meeting or going into knocking doors. So it's not like I'm like dusting the cobwebs out, right?
Yeah.
When I start knocking doors, I'm the first person I talk to.
For sure.
So that's how I take it.
So starting your day, you mentioned like mind, body, spirit,
Yeah.
and those sort of things. So what's kind of the recipe for you for that perfect morning routine? What does that look like?
I'll wake up, I'll immediately go to the gym and do some light cardio. And then I take a book that I'm reading, which is always something like about self-development or something inspirational to me. Yeah. And I read the book while I'm sitting in the sauna.
Okay.
So to me, that's kind of like multitasking a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just sitting there, but still, the sauna is doing a lot for your body.
Yeah.
That's really lately. I'm on like a kick. I used to go running between 2 to maybe 2.5 miles every morning, like 5 mornings a week.
Damn.
And I did that like all of last year, and then I just got like really bad shin splints. So I'm like, okay, well then now like this is gonna mess with my mind. So how could I stimulate my mind just as much if I'm not getting that like runner's high in the morning? I started on this sauna kick. Yeah. So I still do light cardio in the morning, but I read an inspirational book in the sauna for 20, 25 minutes, and that catapults me to the day. Going. Yeah, and then I take a shower, and I'm like, okay. Nice. Like, I'm ready to attack the fucking day.
But I'm sure you've kind of changed that routine over the years and stuff, but you make sure you do something that stimulates your mind, something that stimulates your body.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I started the 2-day routine about 6 years ago. I just turned 37, so I was like 31 where I started my 2 days. But no matter what, I could tell you the phases that I went in. I mean, I was in a phase for 2 years where I would literally just walk on an incline treadmill. I would take my iPhone out on the treadmill. I would go to YouTube, and I would just type in motivational videos. Yeah. For 2 years, I would just do that. I would do a 30-minute incline walk. Okay, I would do that for 2 years. And I did a year on the Stairmaster and then I started jogging.
Just keep mixing it up.
Keep mixing up, but at the same time, doing something to stimulate my mind and body at the same time. Yeah. If I could listen to a motivational either podcast or music while I'm doing something physical, that takes my mind to a different hemisphere in terms of just confidence and just getting my day going. Yeah. And like you just have to do something to just spark that
Yeah.
like inner fire in you.
There's
So,
something about just doing both at the same time.
Oh my God.
Getting your
It's
head going and getting your body going. It's like you're
life-changing.
unstoppable.
Yes.
Yeah.
You literally feel like you're limitless.
Yeah.
Like you're Bradley Cooper in the movie. It's like there is nothing that you cannot do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, from there, so you started this company with your best friend,
Yeah.
who's still your business partner, and over, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like 8-9 years.
Yeah.
You grew this thing to over 100 million a year. Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow. So, what was kind of that first year or two like of starting your company? How did you guys scale that quickly?
The first year was just pretty much just me and him. I think we had one other guy that was more of like, an apprentice for us in a way.
Yeah.
And we didn't do like bad, but just like anything else, like trial and error. I mean, we're only as good. I mean, roofing it's like blocking and tackling, right?
Yeah.
You don't need to be like a pediatric brain surgeon to figure out. So you got to get good materials. You got to deliver great workmanship. You got to have great service.
Yeah.
That's like the roofing industry. Well, I'm the service.
Yeah.
Right. So how could I be of good service? Well, you got to be punctual. That helps. When the customer calls, you answer your phone.
Yeah.
When they text you, you reply in a timely manner.
Yeah.
What's a timely manner? Within seconds.
Right away. Yeah.
I mean, you put yourself on the other side of the table.
Yeah.
If you were getting your roof replaced, if there was 20, 30, $50,000 of construction being done to your home,
Yeah.
how much more confident and comfortable would you feel if the contractor took 10 seconds to reply, 10 minutes to reply, an hour and a half to reply, a day to reply, 10 days to reply, right? Like you have to ask yourself what it's like outside looking in.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I take care of the service. The supplier takes care of the material, make sure it gets delivered in time. And besides that, just, overly communicate.
Yeah.
So we started the company, just me and him, learning a lot, trial and error. Second year, we brought on a couple guys, but the third year is when that catapulted us. The third year is when we 10x'd. We went from doing 4 roofs a week to 8 roofs a day.
Wow. That's crazy.
Third year in business was when we felt confident enough to move 10 guys. I don't know what the number was. It was 8 or it was 11. So let's just say around 10 guys from Ohio to Dallas, Texas. I trained them on door knocking, getting acclimated to the process, structuring their day.
Yeah.
And by the grace of God, after training them for several months, we got hit with 2 back-to-back softball-sized hailstorms within 5 weeks of each other.
Wow.
So it's like the epitome of the perfect storm. We get 10 guys to move to Dallas, learn the process, train them on how to be self-sufficient, develop their book of business, and then we get these massive storms.
Wow.
So we did 18 million that third year in business.
Wow.
We were just shy of 20 million in revenue. Ever since then, we didn't know how to scale.
Yeah.
Well, you got to figure it out.
When the business is knocking on your door and you're finally getting the business, you got to figure it out real quick.
At no point does a customer call you saying, "I have business for you," where you say, "I'm sorry, I can't."
Yeah,
that.
there's no,
you
I'm too
figure
busy.
It out.
Figure it out.
There is no such thing.
Yeah.
So you learn how to do it real quick and real fast.
Yeah.
And if you're not disciplined, it's going to be a lot harder.
Definitely.
If you don't have the mental fortitude, it's going to be a lot harder. If you don't know how to pre-qualify people, it's going to be a lot harder. So it's all a process. And just like how I always say, you got to fail your way to success. So we put in our time. We still put in our time now, but that third year in business is what launched us to the next level.
So you've always run the sales and service side of the business. So when you bring on these new sales reps, you're the one picking and training and really getting these guys up to speed, right?
Yep.
And I'm sure sales is a massive part of what helped you guys scale to where you're at today.
Yeah.
So when you bring on a new sales rep, what are some of the most important sales fundamentals that you want to instill in them?
I think being open-minded and coachable is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Checking your ego at the door. Yeah. Whatever you did before this, I think that's great. It's a testament, to you and your work ethic, but it means absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Right now. So it's kind of like it's kind of like counter, what I'm looking for. I don't know what the phrase is. Catch-22. But it's like, if you accomplish a lot in the past, nothing can compare to door-to-door sales.
Yeah.
If you haven't done door-to-door sales. So just keep an open mind and be coachable. But I never want to hear Okay, it's just a different beast.
Yeah. Like, at my last job, we used to. I don't give a shit what you did at your last job.
I don't care. I don't. You could have sold, I don't know, ice to an Eskimo. Means nothing with door-to-door sales.
For sure.
Yeah, I think being open-minded and coachable is the biggest thing. And the other thing, too, is, and this is tough, and it's hard, and I've had some hard conversations with guys that I love and care about, but you got to pass the eye test.
Yeah.
Perspective, is reality. So, like, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying it is what it is.
Yeah.
Right? So I'll ask people, do you think, styling your hair is important? I don't know. All right. Well, why don't you dye your hair purple tomorrow and show up? I'd never do that. Well, why not? It doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
What about your facial hair? How you groom yourself? What about the size of your shirt? I don't think the size of my shirt matters that much. All right. Well, what size are you? A large. All right. I want you to wear extra small tomorrow. I'd look like an idiot. So you do agree it makes a little bit of difference. Yeah. It makes the world of difference. Everything you say says everything about you.
Yeah.
The way you stand, the way you the tone, the pitch in your voice.
Yeah.
The way you look, your eyes. There is a science behind door-to-door sales.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I've had to do some goofy fucking things with mirroring customers, but I mirror customers.
Yeah.
I have had guys stand on the wall with their hands folded. I stand on the wall with my arms folded.
Yeah.
Guys sit back, put their leg over their, they do one of these. Like, I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Subconsciously, they don't realize it, but it makes them feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
You have to mirror customers, look customers in the eyes. But guys, if you're just like the little things, you got to be open-minded me telling you this because it sounds stupid and corny, but there's a science.
Yeah.
If a guy is selling to a guy, you don't want to look at him and square your shoulders straight to him. You want to stand with a little bit of an angle.
Yeah.
If a guy is selling to a woman, it's the opposite. Right, hand placement is really big too.
Yeah.
Right, hand placement typically you want in front of your hands to a woman. Why? Because it's more intimidating if you're talking to a woman with your hands behind your back because they don't know what's behind your back.
Yeah.
Could have a knife, could have a gun, could have whatever.
Yeah.
Right, just little things like that.
For sure.
You got to be really open-minded with door-to-door sales.
Yeah.
From the way that you dress to the way that you groom yourself to the improving your tone and pitch in your voice.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes into it. So it takes a lot of doors to learn the process, but it works.
Well, I mean, I've always felt like people learning how to do sales really well, it also just preps them for how to really win at life. I mean, it teaches them how to be successful in all their relationships. So have you had that same experience?
Not with the relationships.
No, maybe not with those, but, just in general.
Yeah.
What do you find like, if you do a great job training one of your sales reps, if you do a great job training one of your sales reps, what do you feel like that really prepares them for in the rest of their life?
Everything. Yeah. If you know how to sell, you always have a job.
Yeah.
For the rest of your life, you always have a job.
Yeah.
When you do sales, you got to build value and you got to create urgency. Build value. Here's a product that I have, and here's why I know it'll help you.
Yeah.
And here's when I want you to buy it. So what's your urgency? Right?
Yeah.
Do you want them to buy today? You want them to buy tomorrow? You want them to buy a month from now? You want them to buy a year from now? Contingent on your sales ability, that will improve the urgency behind the sale.
Yeah.
So you got to build value and create urgency. If you know how to do that in anything,
yeah,
you're going to have a pretty easy, your life is going to be easier.
Yeah.
No life is easy, but it'll be easier if you know how to sell something. And let me tell you something. Everyone's a fucking salesman.
Yeah.
Women are salesmen. Babies are salesmen. Toddlers are salesmen. Men are salesmen. Everyone's a salesman. People have this like stigma around like that title, and it's just hilarious to me.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a conversation with your wife. Hey, babe, what do you want to eat for night? What do you want to eat for dinner tonight? Let's do sushi. No, we don't want to. Let's do Italian. No, I want sushi. How about this? Go to Italian spot tonight, but I promise tomorrow we'll do sushi, and then let's go to our favorite ice cream spot tomorrow after we do sushi. All right, that's fine. I'll get the pasta tonight anyways. Got it. Well, you just sold her.
Yeah.
Hey, babe, I want this bag.
Yeah.
I'm not getting you the bag. Please. I'm not getting the bag. I got you 2 bags last year, and they were really expensive. I want this bag. Okay, how about this? How about I do this, and that, whatever that is.
Yeah.
And all right, I'll get the bag. Like, listen, toddlers, there is no better salesman than a toddler.
Yeah.
They will whine, they will cry, they will yell, they will scream, they will stomp, they will do whatever.
Yeah.
Until they get the toy, until they get the snack. Everyone's a salesman.
Yeah.
All right? A crackhead on the corner in the Vegas Strip. Let me get $1. No. Let me get 50 cents. No. Let me get anything. Here's a quarter. Just go away.
Yeah.
At this point, just take this quarter and just go away. You just got sold.
Got it.
Everyone's a salesman.
It's just some are good at their craft and some are not. That's all it is. Yeah, makes sense. Well, now that you've built this successful company, I know that a lot of times what people ask me is, oh, you've got all this money, so what are you investing into? What are you doing? What are you doing with all of it? So how about you? What are some things that you're putting your money into nowadays?
The only investment that I do besides one, because I just partnered in a restaurant lounge concept in Dallas, multifamily real estate.
Multifamily real estate.
I literally, Joe, I get my paycheck, get my commission, get my cuts. When I have money go into my account, I literally put aside for my bills, put aside for some credit card, and then put a little bit aside for a rainy day.
Yeah.
And then I just pour everything I have into multifamily real estate. I'm going heavy in it.
Nice.
And these returns are amazing. I invest with people that, I love and trust. And it allows me to scale the roofing business as well.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll invest in your apartment acquisition, but I'm your roofer.
Yeah.
You don't talk to other roofers. You don't get other bids from other roofers. In the event your 50-unit complex, 200-unit complex, 2,000-unit complex needs a roof, I'm your guy. So I'll give you my 25 grand. I'll give you my 50 grand. I'll give you my 150 grand, but I'm your roofer. Yeah. All right. Sounds good. Great. I'll invest in your fund. And multifamily real estate, your money pretty much doubles in the whole period. And the whole periods are anywhere between 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
Depending on the strategy. So I go into acquisitions of just multifamily apartments where
nice.
They'll buy them as like a C class or a B class and put a good amount of CapEx into it.
Fix it up a bit.
Sell it, hold it for a few years, sell it, double my money, and on to the next. So nice. I just go heavy in multifamily real estate, and I am a fascinated student of that space.
Yeah.
I feel like the more I learn, the more I listen, the more I ask questions, the more I study it, it is the biggest fucking life hack of all time.
Yeah.
And that is just my personal opinion. And I just keep learning about the game and the process. And I'm like, what? You get to depreciate it? Like what I give, it goes against my taxable income? What?
Yeah.
You mean if I put this much in and I made this much, I really... goes against this, so I pay this much less in taxes? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And my money grows? What?
Yeah.
Why didn't I learn about this 10 years ago?
Crazy tax.
And so instead of getting down on myself like, man, if I would have invested half of what I've done when I started making money 5, 7, 8 years ago, I'd be worth this much more. I don't focus. I'm just like, I just got to keep going in on it.
Yeah, it's just here's what I can do now.
I mean, this world, it is like a game of Monopoly, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
When you play Monopoly, like, if you pick a college thing, you get 5 more spots. All right, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what? Just play the game.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or love it, whether you agree or disagree, just play the game. This real estate thing, just play the game. The fact that you don't need good credit.
Yeah.
You don't need a college degree. You don't need a real estate license. You can literally just take money, however you make your money. You could sell condoms. You could sell candy bars. You could sell ice. You could just take money, however you make it, go into a fund.
Yeah.
But they don't do a background check. They don't check your credit.
Yeah.
They don't do anything. You just take your money, give it to a fund. Your money grows and doubles in the next few years.
Yeah.
Are you out of your mind? And the money that you gave goes against your taxable income.
Wow.
What?
That's crazy.
So that's what I'm doing.
Well, and I mean, people probably approach you all the time with the next best investment. I know people hit me with that all the time, trying to get me to invest into their new shop or their new whatever, all that shit. Mm-hmm. But I mean, real estate is not some trend or some fad that's going away. Yeah. We've got houses. Our parents had houses. Mm-hmm. Their parents had houses. It's not some shit that's about to go out of style in a decade, Yeah. So that's incredible. Is there anything else you're looking into to kind of build your wealth and build your portfolio?
Not right now. I got to get to your stage first. I got to get big time before I start putting more money. But no, I mean, for now, I just want to keep learning about the real estate thing. Eventually, I'd love to have like my own like building.
Yeah,
right.
Definitely.
Like instead of giving a fund, my money, I would just like to raise my own funds, which I'm trying to go in that stage.
Right.
I'm trying to work my way up the steps of the multifamily. So
Yeah.
I want to start getting my network of people to contribute towards acquisition, and then for someone else's fund, because I don't know nearly enough.
Yeah.
There's like 50 people it takes, 50 different professionals to like acquire an apartment complex.
Wow.
Like that's a lot. So I'm not gonna say I'm nowhere close, but I'm pretty far away from.
Yeah,
I'm in
lot.
student phase until I graduate. So eventually I do want to just get my own building.
Yeah.
And go into that. Until then, I just gotta just stick to what I know.
Yeah.
I understand it. Like it's an asset that I could like see, I could touch.
Yeah.
I kind of want to stick to that. But like I said, I went in on that this lounge in Dallas. I'm really excited about. So I think investing, it's just relationships. You do it with people that you know, you like, and you trust.
Yeah.
So as I sit here now, if someone that I know a lot, really well, I love deeply, and I trust wholeheartedly comes to me with a phenomenal proposal and I believe in it and them, yeah, I would be open to it, whatever it is. Yeah. So I'm open-minded, but if no one came to me with a different type of opportunity, I would just stay in my lane of the real estate instead of trying to just branch out elsewhere.
For sure.
Because it's working.
So. Well, and something I respect a lot about what you do, this is the new one that I keep fighting off with my sales reps, is this hot new thing where everybody's like, oh yeah, have multiple streams of income. And that's awesome. It is. I mean, you've got a couple streams of income, but you built it all from your one primary business that you pumped your blood, sweat, and tears into. And now that you're making multi-millions a year and stuff, now you're looking into what other streams of income can I create. But do you think people are doing that the wrong way when they're trying to create multiple streams of income out the gate, or what are your thoughts on that?
It's tough. It's tough for me to comment on what other people are doing, because I go to people that have achieved a high level of success and I ask them, hey, what are you doing? So I don't really talk to slapdicks around the corner like, what are you doing with your money? But I will say, to your point, like, stay in your lane and like don't ever sacrifice your main. Like for me, I can't do anything in life if I don't sell roofs. Yeah. If I stop selling roofs, if the company stops selling roofs, then I don't have any money to do anything. Yeah. So my objective every day is I wake up like I'm unemployed. And my objective every day is how can I help as many people as I possibly can by getting their roof replaced if they have justifiable hail damage. Yeah. And I go about my day to generate as many possible quality leads and build as many quality relationships as I can. I can never get away from that. Yeah. Until I'm making, until I can live off my residual income. Yeah. I can never get away from that. So every single day I'm pursuing that as if real estate doesn't exist. And then when I get paid on my roofing deals, I just keep putting more real estate. Yeah. And I'm just now starting to get paid out these dividends from the real estate, and I just keep pouring it back in. Yeah. Right? So if I get a dividend, I'll take a little bit out of it and have fun with it. Yeah. But I'll take 75% of that dividend and I'll just keep putting it more in real estate. Right? So that's my whole thing, is just to get to myself to a point where I could just hopefully live off my residual income from the real estate, but I'm never going to stop selling roofs. Yeah. I mean, the goal one day is to stop knocking doors. Like, I'm sorry I admit it, but like, yes. Yeah. That is the goal. But until then, like, I'm beating down doors, man. Yeah. Like, dude, and honestly, I feel like I build the respect of my team when they see me out. Definitely. Because I'll never ask my team to do something that I don't do myself. Yeah. So I think it helps when my team sees me and like on the front line. Definitely. Going at it every day. Definitely. And I'm not like posting from a beach every day. Yeah. So, I mean, I travel, I vacation, but listen, I get after it in the week. Yeah. So
I see it, man. I follow you, and that's honestly what made me build so much respect for you. I appreciate it. Because we have a mutual friend, so I know you're not gonna starve if you don't make that sale that day. I know that. Yeah. I know you're doing great, but to be out there still pounding the pavement and doing sales, I know that builds a ton of respect with your team. Built a ton of respect with me too, because I'm the same way.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
For you, when you've built a company to this size and you've had such a transformation in your life overall, I'm sure you've learned some serious valuable lessons. So what's one of the most valuable lessons that you feel like you've had to learn in business that kind of shapes who you are today?
I think one of the really big thing that I learned that I personally really developed and gotten drastically better at is kind of removing emotion from a lot of my day-to-day, right? Yeah. If I have a great day, just stay here. Yeah. If I have a terrible day, just stay here. I think that what's helped me develop and learn is once I started reading and opening my mind towards like coaching and counseling, from the motivational videos I watch on YouTube to the books that I read to the podcasts I listen to, like it's all helping shape and carve my perspective to being at a healthy, sustainable level. Yeah. So the biggest thing is when I started knocking doors 11 years ago, and I still get it to this day, but I've had some like nasty things said to me. Yeah. Right? And I'm not here playing a martyr, and I'm not here playing the victim. This is the path at which I chose. Yeah. And I will continue to choose this path. But there's good and bad that comes with everything. So what I'm saying to you is that 11 years ago, I've been threatened with guns. I've been threatened with knives. I've been threatened, like verbally harassed. Yeah. But like 11 years ago, that would fuck my mind for a week. Yeah. I used to have people say, say nasty, like degrading things to me. Yeah. And that would ruin my mind for like a week. Well, then, a couple years later, it would mess up my mind for like a couple days. And then I started reading these self-development books. I just got done reading for the second time, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Yeah. Which is a great read for all you guys listening. Yeah. So different things like that helping shape my perspective. Like, I don't care. Yeah. I do care, but I really don't. If I have a great day, I think that's great. If I have a bad day, I think that's great. It's all part of the process. When someone gives me a GFY, a go fuck yourself at the door. Yeah. All right. Like, I'm closer to a yes. Yeah. Get off my doorstep. All right, I'm closer to a yes. Yeah. Leave me alone. Don't ever come back. Closer to a yes. I had 3 emails last week from these people saying, why'd you leave something on my door? It said no soliciting. Yeah. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Right? Before, are they going to report me to the HOA? Are they going to call the police? Are they going to make a bad review on Google? To me, it's like, okay, listen. Do you want me to email them back and say, like, I was actually able to help 257 homes because those are the people that had a no soliciting sign on their door that I still chose to knock on the door. Yeah. Why? Because it says no soliciting, but I don't think what I do is soliciting. Yeah. I'm offering a service to them. What's your service? I'm offering a free roof inspection. Yeah. Is that soliciting? I'm 6 one way, half a dozen the other. Like, what is soliciting? If I was a Girl Scout cookie, I was standing there with my daughter selling Girl Scout cookies and it said no soliciting, would you answer the door and buy a box? Yeah. But I was soliciting. Yeah. If I was campaigning for a politician that you agreed with, would you report me for no soliciting? Because I was soliciting. Like, dude.
It's all subjective.
Because I'm not fitting your narrative, you don't like it. Yeah. Right? I don't know. It's all like the narrative. So when you tell somebody something that doesn't fit their narrative, they're going to have a problem with it. Yeah. I go to family parties over the holidays and I'll speak things that don't fit certain family members' narrative and they have a hard time with it. Yeah. And I am very close to my family and we communicate a lot. Yeah. But just like anyone, we love and we die for each other. But like, we get in some like pretty good like debates. Same thing with my best friend, my business partner. I debate all the time with. Yeah. But oftentimes, when you're not fed a narrative you don't like, you're gonna. Oh, now it's a problem. Yeah. Right. But the Girl Scout cookies are fine. But I was still soliciting
because they're so valuable, right?
Of course. Yeah. Yeah.
So, there's way more value in a Girl Scout cookie than a roof or it's bullshit.
Yeah. But that kind of helped perspective. I think it really helped change a lot.
And like cutting out a lot of the emotion, I think, is a skill that tons of people need to learn because emotions, they just are what they are. Yeah. If you get a door slammed in your face in the beginning, it's going to hurt a little bit. Yeah. But that doesn't change anything about the next door. Yeah. That doesn't mean anything about whether that next door is going to be a sale or it's going to be another GFY, like you said. It doesn't make any fucking difference. So the best thing you can do is shake that off as quick as possible, put that smile back on, and hit the next one.
Yeah, like Kobe said it great. He's like, the process never changes. Yeah. If you play a game, you play great, you're still going to practice the next day. You're still training. You're still watching film. If you play a game, you don't perform, and you lose the game, you're still going to practice and you're still training. You're still watching film. The process should never really change. Yeah. Yes, you will tweak things along the way, but you have to just stay committed to the process. Yeah. And the perspective now focuses and shifts towards, I had a really bad game. Well, now it's not, I had a bad game. I'm going to have a bad season. I'm going to have a bad career. Yeah. I'm going to have low income. Now it's, I had a bad game. I'm going to work harder. I'm going to try harder. I'm going to be more committed, and I have the rest of the season to get it right. I have another game to get better. I have the rest of the season to improve.
Yep.
I'm going to have a great career because I will continue to just keep working at the craft.
Yep.
Same outcome, completely different perspective can shift your overall success in everything. Yep. I have managed to live a life that I could have never in my wildest dreams manifested. Yeah. All just because I just started shifting my perspective, and I never got away from the process. Yeah. So
that's incredible, dude. Well, it's been awesome getting to know you.
Yeah,
you shared a ton of great stuff. So anybody who wants to get in touch with you, what's the best way for people to get in touch with you?
Definitely Instagram. You know, throw me a follow if you want. But New View Nick is my Instagram handle, and I'd love to, try to inspire as many people as I possibly can, and I try to be good about posting so you guys can see my day to day. Yeah. But I say what I do and I do what I say. So I mean, I'm out there. Yeah. Twice a day working out, knocking doors, building the company, doing my thing, doing the single dad life.
I see it.
And try to have some fun too on the side too.
Yeah. Dude, following you, awesome. Honestly, following you, it really does pump me up, especially when I see you out doing the sales.
I appreciate that.
Because I know you don't need to do it, but it's just that you're committed to the process. So
I appreciate that.
At New View Nick, just like it sounds.
Yeah, New View Nick. That's
New
me.
View Nick. Awesome. Nick, well, thank you so much.
Thank you,
man. And let's get you back on the show sometime soon.
Yeah, I'm excited. Thank you, bud.
Thanks, man. Yep.